So there are these really cool things on the syllabus called learning objectives. Student learning objectives. Learning what? Yeah, learning objectives. Do you know what learning objectives are? Have you seen them before on the syllabus? I bet you have seen them before and maybe you've just skipped over them. I get that. I remember I would just skim through these really quickly when I was a student too. Just another bulleted list, yada, yada, yada. Not important to me. But I think that some of you will find them to be useful, so I encourage you to give them more than just a quick glance. Here's why. They tell you what you're going to learn this semester. So maybe you weren't sure what class to take this semester and you just stumbled upon this one. Or maybe there is something specific that you want to learn this semester and you want to make sure that it's going to be covered in this class. The learning objectives give you details on what we'll be covering in this class, what we'll be doing in this class. By the way, I did not decide on these. These are written by a committee when the class is first created. And so that means that anytime this class is offered here, it'll have these same learning objectives. So let's take a closer look at these. Number 1, the student will identify and illustrate the most common problems in web design and how to avoid them. Wow, that one is jam-packed, right? So we'll be looking at this one over several weeks of the course. There are all kinds of web design problems. And the great thing is that with access to the internet, we all have access to good examples. So we'll be identifying the problems on those sites and looking at what we can do as web designers to avoid them. Obviously, we'll get way more into specifics of this one later on in the semester. Number 2, student will demonstrate and apply the conventions of web site storyboarding phase. So let's unpack this one. Demonstrate and apply. So that means we're going to get hands-on with this one. We're going to learn what storyboards are, first of all, and then we'll learn the conventions of storyboarding and also how they fit into the web development cycle. How will you learn this? You'll be creating your own storyboard. Number 3, student will demonstrate and apply universal design guidelines in web page creation. Another one that's chock full. This means that we'll be learning the universal design guidelines, first of all, and then we'll be applying them to the web. And it means that we'll be creating web pages. Okay, what's next? Number 4, student will demonstrate and apply universal design concepts and choose the right image format for web graphics. Okay, so here we see the emphasis is on images. We'll be talking about the different image formats available to us, and we'll be looking at selecting the right format for our web pages. And this is related to number 5. Number 5, student will demonstrate and apply optimizing techniques of web graphics. Web graphics, images again. We're going to be looking at the best ways to use those in our web pages. Number 6, student will identify and apply color design principles and create web pages with effective use of color. Color evokes emotions for us, and that is true online as well. So we're going to be creating web pages that use color, selected using the color design principles that we'll be covering, while also keeping in mind contrast and accessibility issues. All right, number 7, one of my favorites. Student will demonstrate and apply good authoring techniques with HTML and validate their code. Yes, you will write HTML code in this course. Notice it doesn't say anything about using an HTML WYSIWYG editor tool like Dreamweaver, Front Page, or Expressions. This objective says that we'll be authoring, we'll be writing our own HTML markup, and then we'll be learning how to validate it. But we'll be writing it by hand in order to really learn those authoring techniques and not having Dreamweaver write it for us. So you will not learn Dreamweaver in this class. There are other CIS classes you can take if you want to learn Dreamweaver. Number 8, student will identify and apply the use of cascading style sheets in universally designed web pages. Cascading style sheets, CSS, we'll learn what that is and how to write it. Number 9, student will analyze and apply simple universal design techniques and create validated websites. Okay, so here's the combination of HTML and CSS into a multi-page website. So yes, we'll be putting pages together to create a website that validates. Validates? What does that mean anyway? Yes, we'll be learning that too. Number 10, student will identify and interpret principles of universal design as defined by international standards for 508 compliance. Whoa, 508? What's that? We're going to learn what Section 508 of the ADA is and how it applies to us as web designers. It's super important. That's a biggie. Number 11, student will identify and apply techniques in design for browser incompatibility issues. So we'll see how our designs may differ depending on the browser of our user. This has design implications for us. So number 12, student will analyze and apply techniques of publicizing websites and writing meta content. So change of focus there, right? We'll touch on SEO a little bit. We'll look into ways that we can make our web pages be displayed by search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Okay, so that's it. That's what we're going to be learning this semester. Between now and the end of the semester, we'll be doing activities, quizzes, assignments, other activities, all designed to help you learn this stuff and designed to show me that you have learned the material. Take another spin through those objectives on your own and make sure this is the right class for you. I encourage you to check out the learning objectives on your other class syllabi as well. And then you can decide which course most closely meets your educational goals. Thank you.